Hi there guys, today I'm going to run through 4 ways how to sell your luxury watch. Some of them has pros and they also obviously have cons. So you can go through these 4 options. I'm not forcing any of the options on you. These are just 4 options that you can consider if you want to sell your luxury watch. Firstly, I know you obviously want to get maximum value out of your watch when you sell it. And the first option that you do have if you want to get absolutely maximum value for your watch is if you sell it privately. By selling privately, you would go to Facebook Marketplace, Gumtree, OLX, or advertising in the newspaper, or that's considered selling your watch privately to an individual. Selling your watch privately is probably the most dangerous out of the 4 options I'm going to give you to sell your watch. There's a lot of pros and obviously cons, and you have to weigh up if it is actually worth it to make that little bit of extra money by selling it privately compared to selling it in the other 3 options that I'm going to give you. If you sell it to someone on Facebook Marketplace, Gumtree or OLX, you have the big risk of getting scammed, where people will say come meet me at a service station or meet me in a parking lot somewhere where they can set you up. You can get robbed. Another thing that I have heard happens to people, the watches actually get swapped, can get swapped with a fake watch. You can get fake cash. Someone would give you maybe a stack of money, half of it is counterfeit money, the rest is authentic money. So there's a lot of risks involved when selling a luxury watch, and selling it privately is definitely the most dangerous way to sell your watch. The second option you have is by trading in your luxury watch. That's like going to a watch dealer, giving them your watch, basically a swap or a trade for another watch, where you would just pay in a different amount if the watch is more expensive than the watch you're trading, or you would actually get money back if you are trading in. That's a very safe option, but it's also not a way to turn your watch into cash if that is what you want. If you want cash, then the trading option is not going to work for you. Trading is also a way of getting out of a difficult to sell watch that dealers wouldn't really want to buy, but they would maybe want to trade it. And trading in watches is also something, if you have a difficult watch to sell that a dealer doesn't want to buy, some of them they would actually consider trading in the watch for something else that they have, and then because it's not capital outlay for the dealer, but they can just swap a watch and then maybe try and sell a new watch in the inventory if they traded it for a watch that's difficult for them to sell. Okay, and then the third way of selling a watch, which is probably definitely the safest way of selling it, is by going to a dealer. Like myself, or there's a lot of good, honest, reputable dealers across South Africa where you can actually go into their store, into their offices or shops. You get paid on the spot. The whole transaction shouldn't take longer than 10 minutes. There's obviously also a lot of pros and cons. The cons of this is you are going to get much less than you would have got if you sell it privately, because the dealer obviously has a lot of risk to cover. He's got the overheads. He's going to sit with the stock. He has to find a buyer. He's either going to have to service your watch, polish it again and get it retail ready. So you're not going to get as much for your watch by selling it directly to a dealer. Selling it to a dealer also obviously has the positive side, where you walk in and out, you have the money in your bank account or cash. There's literally no risk involved. So that is probably definitely the best way of selling a watch, is going directly to a watch dealer and sell it. The last one, the 4th way to sell your luxury watch, is doing a consignment sale. So you probably guys have seen lately on YouTube, there's been a pretty big watch dealer that did consignment sales. Consignment also has big pros and cons, but in the past 6 months it probably have a lot of negativity around consignment sales, where the dealer can take your watch, sell it. He's not going to tell you he sold it. He can spend your money different other ways. When you eventually want your money, or when you realize your watch has finally sold, you want to get paid, the dealer doesn't have the money to pay you for the watch. So what I always say is you have to take the risk and reward. But if you go to a dealer, we don't do consignment sales anymore. The only way we do a consignment sale is where we sit with a seller of a watch. We can't get to a mutual agreement on the price. It is a nice watch to have in stock. Then we would consider the consignment option for the customer, but it's definitely something we don't do. We probably do 5% of our watches that we have would be a consignment sale. Another pro that you guys would think that you do get from consignment sales is dealers would really overpromise you on the price. I mean, it's very easy for me to say I'll sell your watch on consignment and just hike the price and give it an unrealistic value, because then I know I am going to get the watch in from you. I'm going to put it on my website. It's going to look good for our stock, but it's not going to sell. So you can sit with, if you hand over your consignment watches to dealers and they do market add ridiculous, crazy, non-market related prices, those watches aren't going to sell and you're not going to get your money. So it's another thing to consider when you hand over your watch to a dealer for consignment. And if you look at the market price of the watch, there's a lot of factors that you have to take into account, how difficult the model is to sell. And if it is just too high, your watch will never sell, and it just blows up the price of the watch, and you're never going to get that amount if you're going to do an outright sale. Another reason some of the dealers would also do consignment, they would not have the money to actually take out and buy the watch from you immediately. Then they would offer you the consignment option. Just how I feel about it, if someone doesn't have the money to take out, or let me rephrase it, if he can't offer you both options, a consignment option and an outright option, then you should be aware of actually doing a consignment sale. If someone does not have the actual money to back up your watch, if something would happen to it, what's going to happen if he gets robbed? Is it insured? What happens if the watch breaks? There's a lot of factors to take into account when doing a consignment, so it's also something to consider. But I'm not talking bad about consignments. It's definitely probably one of the best ways to also sell your watch if you want to maximize your money. There's a lot of good dealers that do consignments. I mean, all you need to do is just research the guys or the companies that you're going to go with, and then it's pretty safe to give your watch over to them on consignment. I mean, a consignment sale is still, in my opinion, much safer than trying to sell your watch privately on social media or Gumtree and OLX and those kind of things. So guys, now that you have these 4 options to sell your watch, I'm not forcing any of these on you. It's definitely something that you have to consider when you're selling a watch. There's just a lot of things that can go wrong in selling a high-end watch. So you have to offset some of the profit that you are going to make to maybe choosing one of the safer routes, either selling it outright to a dealer, or maybe a consignment sale, or trading it. But there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong when you do a private sale. So please be careful out there, and thanks for watching. Time is a luxury. Invest in it.